How we doing, America? I want to talk to you about a thing that's it's a little disturbing. I'm going to be the very first person to say that violence and killing people is never the answer. That's ridiculous. Eric, how are you, my friend? It's good to see you pop on. That is never the answer. Violence does not solve anything. However, there's a tremendous amount of outrage right now about the death of Brian Thompson, who was the CEO of United Healthcare, and the manner in which he died. He was murdered, and it seems like it was a targeted murder. And you have a couple of different kinds of people coming out. You have the people that are kind of cheering on the fact that somebody did this, which is ridiculous. No, guys, that isn't the way to go. And then you have the right screaming about the injustice and how terrible it is. And this is just a person that was doing his job. There's a lot more to unpack there. There's a whole lot more to unpack there. And again, I am not saying that I condone what was done. I do not. I think it was heinous. I'm sure the guy had a family. I'm sure that they are grieving. And I don't think that anything like that should be done in the name of trying to make a point or a statement. However, I am going to state that I understand why on social media right now there's a tremendous amount of backlash against Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare. And some of it's in a very sarcastic, smarmy kind of manner that I'm sorry, but thoughts and prayers are out of network. Things like that. Is that cold? Yes, that's cold. That's a terrible thing to say. By the same token, there are things to consider there. The numbers are hard to nail down, but there are supposedly anywhere from 35 to 60,000 people a year that die because their coverage is denied. And one of the highest denied coverage rates is United Healthcare. That's one aspect there. And then we look at a couple of other things involved here and what is happening and why people are so angry and why this shit is coming down this way. Brian Thompson's salary for this company that is one of the highest rates of denial was $10.2 million a year in his full compensation package, which included salary, bonus, and stock options. Bonus, by the way, had a lot to do with he is one of the people that has been the most effective in getting United Healthcare really profitable for its shareholders. A big part of that from denials and tightening and finding ways around covering what they should be covering. If it's not an argument for universal health care, I don't know what the hell is, because the only thing that comes out of not having universal health care is a bunch of profit to the health insurance industry. Frankly, I don't give a shit if the health insurance industry falls. As long as people can get medical care, that's all I care about. But $10.2 million his overall worth somewhere around $43 million. Meanwhile, as many as 30 to 60 thousand people a year die because of denial of coverage. You can't understand why there's a level of outrage. You can't understand why that finally trips somebody's trigger so far that they end up doing what they did. I'm not saying condoning it. I'm saying understanding how it happened. As long as we keep going down this path, we've got a problem. Bringing me to the next point here. One of the things coming up, the reason that they can get away with denying coverage is because they do it within the scope of the law. This is what the law says we can do, so that's what we're going to do. And some companies keep real close to that and cut back just as far as they can. Well, those laws are made by who? They're made by our government. They're made by our representatives and senators. And they always seem to be in the pocket of big business, including big healthcare. Why do you think we have a problem keeping the ACA on track? Bringing me to my next point. Coming up very soon, monies from the federal government were increased during COVID for the Affordable Health Care Act. We got better rates for all of that, and we had rules put into place that allowed for more coverage for people. And now the Republicans are saying they're going to let those sunset, and they're going to go back to pre-COVID, to where it was harder to get coverage, to where it was more expensive. You want to tell me why every single damn time something comes up, the Republicans immediately want to work real hard for tax cuts for rich folks, people like Brian Thompson, $43 million net worth, $10.2 million a year annual compensation package. They want to make it easier for those people, and they want to take away benefits for those of us that are just normal, everyday working people. Rather than looking at a tax rate that works to keep America solvent and provide the safety net that we are a rich enough nation to do, if we can pay our CEOs of healthcare companies $10.2 million a year and make them worth $43 million overall, living an extravagant lifestyle. We can afford to do that, but somehow we can't afford to make sure that there's health care for everybody. Doesn't make any sense. I understand why people are pissed off. I understand completely why people are pissed off. Again, I do not condone the violence. I do not look at what this person did as a good thing. It's heinous. It's terrible. But I can see where people are coming from. And that's where we keep getting with the GOP. Folks, if we allow it, that's what will happen. That doesn't mean get violent. That doesn't mean do the stupid thing that this person did. It means stand up to the representatives and senators that are just basically bending knee to the rich people and their interests, bending knees to corporate profit. And you know that's going to get worse. All right, that's where I want to put that right now. I just want you to think about that. There's another thing I want to do, and I am doing it only here through We Blue Dots. I'm going to be posting a link to the Little Free Pantry here in Van Buren County. I have got a long way with my neighbor and the problems over there. I have got to get one more thing done that if I could afford it, I would do it. It's $130. It is a battery for the car that was stolen from him. For any of you that don't remember what the situation was, disabled veteran, diabetes, had an infection, lost almost all of one leg. The sepsis went over to the other leg. He's lost more than half of that, so the man has no legs. And he was left with 2 teenage boys. House went into total disrepair because he ended up being left with 2 crackhead ex-sister-in-laws after his wife left him 6 months after he lost the second leg. Real situation, real problem, real need. Car was stolen by one of the crackhead sisters. I did the legwork. I found the car. I got the keys. I've gotten the car back here. I've gotten the work that needed to be done on the car to make it roadworthy. Done. All of that money has been raised, but I have worked the people here in this little 1,200 person town as far as I can work them. So I'm reaching out to you, Blue Dots. I'm going to post the link in the comments of this video. I could sure use your help. Anything will help. It will go into the account that is for the Little Free Pantry. That's where it comes out of. There are 2 treasurers to that. They are completely different households. Whereas it is an account that I set up, I can't touch it. I set it up that way intentionally. I'd like your help. We got to find $130. I got to get a battery in this guy's car. I'm hoping that you can help me do that. Because I know that you are folks with a whole lot bigger heart than some of the corporate CEOs out there. I am sorry to the family of Brian Thompson. I am sorry for your loss. It was a heinous crime, shouldn't have happened. But I also understand America's outrage over all of this. All right, folks. That's what I got. That's as far as I'm going. I love all of you. Share this shit.